I'm sitting here, it's nearly 3:30 in the morning and I can't sleep. I'm at the bed thinking about the absolute hypocrisy of that Noreen O'Sullivan one, I think her name is, that was on the news earlier on, going on about the drug problem in the country. I was locked up for preaching the Bible a couple of years ago, for 8 months. They threw me in jail and I was locked in a cell with a junkie, a crackhead. He taps up on the street and another few crackheads and smackheads and all. And I asked him, what's the biggest problem with drugs now? He says, the worst drug, I thought heroin was the worst one, but apparently no, heroin's not the worst one. Crack is the worst one that you commonly find in Dublin. They can never get enough of it. You only do heroin a couple of times. Heroin can be easily substituted and managed without killing people with opium. Opium doesn't kill you off. Heroin kills you off. Opium, you wouldn't even know if someone was strung out on opium. Actually, opium will extend your life if you use a pure opium and you don't OD on it. People live till hundreds and something in the Hindu Kush mountains and they smoke opium since they were kids. That's a fact. The worst drug that causes the most problems is not cocaine, like she'd have you believe. Cocaine is not the worst drug for causing problems. If you mix cocaine with drink, then it's a big problem. You'll black out. But the worst drug by far, and that's what they don't want you to know, is pharmaceuticals. Zimmerphanes and Xanax. They're the worst drugs in Ireland. They're the worst ones by far. They're everywhere. That's what's causing all the problems. They're not running around. They're looking for Zimmerphanes and Xanax, and then when they add them with drink, they go off the head. They'd be only out of jail. I know one fella, I was in jail. He's had been in jail for a few years. He got out one day, and 2 days later he was back. He went out and done tablets. Them fucking tablets, and where did they come from? The Irish government. The Irish government is the biggest dealer of Xanax. And they said that 700 people have died this year from coke in the last decade. 700 is nothing compared to what's after dying from pharmaceutical drugs. They're a shout of deceiving, lying bastards. And that Noreen O'Sullivan, whatever it is about her, when I look at her face, I just see guilty. Whatever it is about her, when I see her, she just oozes, she's guilty of something big and bad. And that's just the feeling I get of it. I ever get like a mad sense and intuition of someone being guilty of something. She's guilty of something. I know she is. I can see her in her mush. But however, this is what you do, right? You walk up to the junkies or the homeless people in town and you say, how are you doing? Alright, here's a quid or two. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? They'll say, okay, no bother. They won't bite you. What do you think is the biggest problem of the epidemic of drugs in this country today? Ask them a question. Do your own due diligence. They're humans as well. Just walk up to them and see. They'll answer your question, especially if you give them a few quid. And what they will tell you is what I'm telling you. The pharmaceutical drugs are the worst problem in this country. They're trying to cover it up. The fucking cheek and the hypocrisy of the Noreen O'Sullivan to say, oh, the problem with cocaine in the country and there's no beds or anything. It's not they're all on Xanax and Zimmerphanes and fucking all of these mad shit that they make in the labs. That's the problem today. Not the cocaine. Cocaine has been around forever. So has opium. Opium, if it's not turned into heroin, is less harmful than sugar. That's the fact. Do your research. Opium, if it's not turned into heroin, is less harmful to your body than sugar. If you do opium without ODing for a month, it won't be a problem. You eat loads of sugar and all for a month, you'll be as fat as a pig. And your teeth will start to rot and fall out. Opium doesn't do none of that to you. So what you're looking at is a government who gets millions and millions of backhanders from pharmaceuticals, which a lot of it is not needed. There's a lot of healing methods in the Bible that we're all supposed to know about, and 90% of it is using leaves. So alchemy is witchcraft. There's always been a lot of witches on this island, called the Tuat the Danann, and they're into alchemy. Alchemy is something that you're not supposed to really fuck around with. So with the combination of alchemy, lies, they're the problem. They're the ones that's causing the problem. The pharmaceutical industry in this country is what makes it so wealthy, because it makes all the alchemy and exports it to all the other countries. So all of those people that you see lying on the streets in sleeping bags, 90% of them, their gateway drug wasn't cocaine. Their gateway drug was probably cannabis as a leaf anyway. The gateway drug, which caused the main problems with them and their family, is them fucking tablets that are them prescription drugs, Zimmerfans, and now they're not even getting them up, they're making them in labs. And who makes all the money from them? Politicians. So you have the Noreen O'Sullivan, Maureen O'Sullivan, whatever her name is, that little witch. She's sitting there going, and the cocaine epidemic. The cocaine's not the problem. Cocaine habits can be managed, especially if it's not shite that you're giving out to people. I used to hang around with people over in England and they work their arse off in office jobs all the time. Me, I wasn't an office boy. And they'd sniff cocaine till it came out their fucking ear holes. They're still sniffing it now. They were sniffing it when I went to England. I never seen cocaine over here in Ireland. I seen cocaine when I went to England. And they were sniffing it till it came out their ear holes. And they have kids and families and all now, and they're still sniffing it. And there's not a bother on them. And they have all these posh jobs. You wouldn't think that they have a habit, but they manage it. So you're being mugged off by that government in Leinster House. That's all I'm saying to you. You should really do your due diligence and find out what the problem is. See them pharmaceutical drugs, they just make you black out. You know all these youngsters running amok in the streets and all. They probably have got. They haven't produced any of the evidence. They're just telling you lies on the telly. They're lying to you on the telly, barefaced lying to you on the telly. And then if you pull them up on the line, they'll come out with some shit like, you can't say that to me, that's not politically correct. They'll switch it on you. Whatever they do, when you catch them on the spot, they'll call the guards. And the coppers. Yeah, they'll call the guards. They're only trying to increase their system. Their system doesn't benefit you. Their system benefits them. They don't see you as subjects. They don't see themselves as your servants. Or they don't have anything greater than their own ambitions as a politician or the cult that they're in. They're not interested in you. They're not like part of a dynasty or a monarchy or a lineage of kings who have ancient traditions and right and proper traditions handed down from generation to generation from the Father in heaven, imparted to the prophets and the kings in teachings of right and proper conduct befitting the tribe of Benjamin, our nation. They're not interested in that. They're interested in politicians. They're interested in their cult. They're interested in appeasing their masters in Europe. They're not interested in the ancient commonwealth that was established by our forebears. That doesn't interest them. They're clinging to power. They don't want anyone in there that wants to do right. No way do they want anyone in there. They're being up to all sorts. Them lot have been up to all sorts and now. They have loads to answer for, and nobody wants to, and nobody's been managed to get them for it. They have loads to answer for, but it's time for them to answer. I'm not saying all the politicians in there are bogies and bad. I'd like to think they weren't. But I can tell you that there's a lot of them in there that are getting away with a lot of shit that me and you would never even dream of doing. So when you look at that report of them politicians that were saying there's a big cocaine and a heroin epidemic, that's not the main problem. The main problem in this country is them tablets that they're making in their labs, torturing animals, putting them through lives of misery. You can't see all this. They keep this all sanitised, torturing animals, injecting them, putting all sorts of shit. That's just basically it. Slaughter the Republic.